Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode this week in reselling. We'll have a little help with my friends here. We'll discuss the highs and lows of reselling and dive into great conversation. Now, we are positive you're going to hear something that's going to help you become a better reseller. I'm your host, Ray, and I'm joined with two of my favorite co-hosts on the planet. We have none other than Brendan, Big Time Flips.
Hey, look at that. Where'd you get? Where's
Ooh,
that
what
from?
is that? Mr.
Yeah,
Big
where's
Time.
that from?
I don't know where I got it, but check out. It's a hockey jersey.
Tubby Snowman.
You should keep that.
Is that Jeezy? Young Jeezy the Snowman?
No, it's not. Do you
Because he's
remember when
got
they
snow, man?
Ray? Do you remember when they banned those snowman shirts from school?
Dude, I still have one.
So do I.
Are they worth
It's
anything?
like all blinged out and everything.
If you have the original one, yeah, they are.
Yeah, I think mine's a bootleg, and it's like extra tall. You know,
Yeah.
like comes down like mid thigh.
Yeah, I only wear like 2 or 3X.
Yeah. So, and we have none other than Joe. With I flip that.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
What's his own money at this point?
Is that Dominican? No, Puerto Rican. It's got a frog on it.
Venezuela.
Close
Oh,
enough.
didn't they go bankrupt? Didn't the city go bankrupt or something?
That's why I have
Or
their
the
money
country?
now. That's why they went bankrupt, because I have their money.
Yeah, because he's making the money now.
Oh,
I don't think it's worth the paper it's printed on.
Man, see, he's already on that shit.
On that. But guys, we are joined today. Our guest for today, we have Jackie. Jackie, are you you don't have like an alias, right?
No.
Not
I
like
mean,
that or
so
anything?
Did we give you one?
Life, what is it?
Yeah,
Life Thrift Avenue, right?
Yeah, so I am Thrift Avenue. My husband, we call him Mr. Thrift Avenue, so he's got more of an alias than I do, but
Are you Mrs. Thrift Avenue?
I could be, yes. Yeah, he became Mr. Thrift Avenue when he started to get more serious with the business. He always jokes that I'm the brains and the beauty. He's just the brawn. So
I think that's it. Hey, I like that. But shout out to Clay. He's the other half of Life on Thrift Avenue. So,
yes.
okay, Jackie, we're gonna start in hot because I really wanted to have you on because you got a lot going on.
I do.
You're a reseller, full-time mom, you know, like all that stuff. Like, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like how you, like, I don't know, like how you got started. Like, give us the origin story of who Jackie Life on Thrift Avenue is.
Yes. So Clay's actually, he's off wrangling the kids right now. He took them out to lunch because we figured that'd be easier than, because my 4-year-old is, she just recently realized that we are on YouTube. So she started wanting to record her own YouTube videos. We're like, there's no way we're keeping her away from the camera if we don't take her out the house. So we started, back in 2021. I was a new mom at the time. So my oldest, who's 4 now, she was like 6 months old, and I just didn't want to have a garage sale. I had a garage sale the year prior, which, I mean, it was also, we had just opened back up from, wonderful COVID times. So it probably wasn't the smartest time to try to have one anyway. And I was just like, I don't want to go through all that work just to make like $50. So we had a friend who was telling us about how he was flipping Nikes on Macari and all the money he was making it. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just throw some stuff up there because, if we can at least make some money, might as well try. So that's how we got started. So I actually started on Macari of all places, and then found Poshmark. So started doing Poshmark, and then at that point realized Poshmark was a little bit better than Macari. So put a lot of my focus into that. So it started off with just personal stuff. And then as I was watching, all of these other people selling, realizing, hey, there's actually some money in this. Like, you can actually do something with this. Decided I wanted to pursue it. And at that point, my husband, Clay, was a little bit skeptical. He's like, there's no way. Like, people don't just buy used clothes for this. Like, there's no way. But, we've always been very entrepreneurial mindseted. So he's like, fine, try it. If it works, it works. If not, then, we move on. And so I started first with just like buying stuff at clearance at like Marshall's, that kind of thing, so that I had like the new tag stuff. And then finally decided to take my first thrifting trip, probably 4 or 5 months after I started selling. And that was a whole lot of fun. It's hilarious. I still actually have the very first pair of jeans that I picked up from that thrift shop because I picked up a pair of Gloria Vanderbilt white straight leg jeans. I don't know why I picked them up. I'd never heard of the brand prior, but they looked nice. The label looked fancy, so I assumed they've got to be, good jeans. I finally donated them. I finally gave up on them. I'm like, all right, I tried. I really did try to finally, sell my very first pair, but I think the problem was I bought white. I mean, nobody really wants white jeans, but yeah. So once we realized, okay, this really is something, my husband started to slowly come in and help me out, and we changed from being more like, I don't want to say wholesale, but like ordering from like Marshalls and stuff like that into thrifting. I got a little bit smarter along the way on what I was thrifting. Because we used to pick up stuff for just way crazy money that I'm like, I don't even know why we picked that up. But so then we started slowly moving over to that. And then my very first month when I made $500, Clay looked at me and he's like, this is crazy. What do you need me to do so that we can scale this? So that was probably October-ish of 2022. And we decided that we needed to start cross-listing to more places. So we, got Vendu as a cross-listing service, started cross-listing to every place we could. And then decided that it was time to, form our business. So that's when Thrifted Avenue first became a thing. I think we weren't officially licensed until January of 2023 by the time, the state of Michigan got through the paperwork. But so then we became a licensed business, and it's just really taken off since then. 2024 is when I had my second daughter, which that was a fun ride.
And we're expecting a third, right?
Yes, and I am currently, I don't even know what am I, 7, 8 months. Thank you. I'm due January 7th, but the OB does not think I'm going to make it that long. So we're expecting a Christmas baby. So, yeah. But it's been crazy. So the reason why we changed from just Thrift Avenue to Life on Thrift Avenue is because of my second daughter. Because I wanted to start sharing our family's journey a little bit more. So when I was 20 weeks pregnant with her, at her anatomy scan, we found out that there was a good chance that she was going to be diagnosed with trisomy 21 or Down syndrome. So we had quite the wild pregnancy with her. And once she was born, we did the karyotype, and she was confirmed. So she has been a bundle of joy and just a whole nother level of excitement to our life. So, I wanted to kind of share the journey with her. And that was kind of when we decided to broaden our audience a little bit and not just be so much about reselling. And then with my oldest being 4, we've started homeschooling, and I've looked at myself in the mirror a couple times in the past couple weeks going, this is crazy to take on homeschooling and all the doctor's appointments and then a third on the way. I don't know how many times I've told Clay, like, were we silly for deciding to have a third child? Like, are we sure? But it's been absolutely wonderful. So
I got two things. I got first I have
hold on, you're echoing there.
Echo.
Brendan.
I'm turned down.
You got echo. Oh, you're good now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
First, I have a pair of white jeans, but I haven't worn them in a long time.
Yeah, you have those.
You should have kept
white
those
shorts
jeans
too.
just to remind yourself of what it was like. That one buy that you probably shouldn't have had. You should have just kept that as a memento.
I did think about framing them. Just been
Put
like,
them on the wall of shame.
This is what we started with, but
and then the second thing is some of the first clothes I ever bought, and I was like, oh, this is all worth money. It took me like 5 years to get rid of all of them. Like, but I was like, no, I'm not donating them. They're gonna sell. And they did, but I made like $4 a piece.
Yeah, I was adamant about that too, but we just purged a bunch of inventory over the summer, and I was like, okay, I gotta let them go, because we're like they haven't even had, I don't even think anybody's even liked them. Like there's been zero interest in them, so I'm like, it's time.
I think you can get them from Glory Vanderbilt. I think you can get it from Walmart now.
Yeah, I think it's like Walmart and
Oh,
JC Penney's, and I'm
Yeah.
like, the label just looked fancy to me, so I'm like, it's got to be fancy.
Been there.
yeah.
Been there.
Jackie, so from picking up those Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, when did you start? Like, how did you learn what to pick up after making those mistakes and knowing it's like, wow, this is not going to be something that people are going to want? Like, what did you watch videos? Did you look up any kind of resources? Like, what were the learning tools that you utilized to know what to pick up, so you know what's going to sell?
I will say I was, I guess in a sense, lucky that Poshmark's live shows had just started at the time that I'd started.
Oh,
Because quite honestly, that was how I did a lot of my research. Because I would pop into people's live shows and see what people were bidding up. And I mean, that was still a learning curve, because obviously there were things that were getting bid up that, you know, maybe wouldn't necessarily sell well if you listed it. And I learned that, the harder way. But yeah, but I just watched a lot of live shows in the beginning, and watched, watched to see what was selling. And then obviously, yeah, I mean, I used to be really big in following everybody's, BOLO list, until I realized not everybody's BOLOs is going to be, yours, because I'd buy stuff and then it would sit, or it wouldn't sell for what I'd expect it to. And I'm like, okay, so you definitely have to, pick and choose. And then I got smarter about actually, doing my research within the store, and not just being like, well, I'll take it home and take the risk. Started actually looking up stuff, while I was shopping. And at one point we did bless my husband's heart. At one point he had a piece of paper in his wallet with every brand written down on it, so that
hey,
he
you
would
gotta
go.
start somewhere.
But I would always laugh, because he put stuff on it. Like, if something sold once really fast, it was automatically a BOLO to him. So like,
I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, if
Yeah,
it's built so
but-
fast, it's like, why not put it on there?
Sometimes.
there was a point where he came home and I looked at him and I'm like, if you pick up one more piece of Banana Republic or one more piece of Guess, I'm gonna scream. Because I'm like, we sold one fast once. We haven't sold a single piece since. Like, we cannot pick up these brands anymore. My death pile for a while was just filled with, Guess, Banana Republic, J. Crew. Like, I mean, J. Crew still does pretty well for us, but I'm like, they're not BOLO brands, dear. Like, we gotta move on from them. We actually just sold one of his very first pickups, which was a wool Y2K wool Guess coat. And I was giggling because he paid $21 for it. And like, nowadays, that's not a brand we would typically pay up on, but we still made some money on it. And he was like, see, I told you it would sell. I'm like, only took like 3 years, but it did sell.
Can you even sell? I don't even know. You can get rid of that stuff in bulk now, I guess, in Banana Republic.
But
I mean,
I think we ended up donating a lot of the
Yeah.
Banana Republic we picked up, because I was like, it's just not worth.
yeah. Makes
Jackie,
sense.
what would be on your BOLO list now, if you're willing to share? What's on Clay's list on his wallet? What's his BOLO
So
list?
he doesn't actually have that list anymore, because we went vintage. So we don't look much at brand. I mean, like, we still, obviously, when we're out and about, thrifting and stuff like that, we do still look at vintage, but we actually now source a lot from estates, like online estate sales. And we just look for nice, sought after, more like rare vintage clothing. So I would say most of our inventory nowadays is, the one of a kind vintage finds. So we focus a lot on that, because we learned that you can, if you've got something rare that's vintage, that's trending, that's people are looking for, especially when you've got it in the higher quality fabrics, like cotton, cashmere, wool. People will pay like luxury prices for vintage clothing. So we've swapped to that so that we don't have to. Because I can't, like, when I was watching Deanna's with her talking about all the cores, I'm like, this is exactly why, like, I can't do, like, vintage is nice because you don't, like, nice to know the cores because you can tie them in, but for the most part, the vintage market's a little bit different. So, because I'm like, I couldn't keep track of.
I think
all
there's new
trends
cores
and
like
stuff.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan Cores is white jeans and flip flops.
That's
Well,
pretty
look,
much
I
it.
already have
A
the.
vintage hat. And that.
I
That's
got
big time.
I got the
Does
big
that
time
fit?
four.
Is that Brendan's size? He needs that.
It's an extra large, Brendan.
Vintage?
No, probably not.
Oh, okay. Because I would maybe.
It's not
What
fancy
is
enough
what
tag.
tag is that?
for,
It looks like a Duluth tag. No, what is that?
No, it's
I don't
I have no idea.
Huh. That's
Oh,
Yeah,
I
interesting.
know.
I told my husband that I apologize that I'm in my Adam Sandler era now because being 7.5 months pregnant and chasing 2 kids around, I'm like baggy shirts and basketball shorts.
Yeah.
What you're getting.
This is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So, Jackie, before I get to my next question, I do want to give a shout out to the channel members. We have Mike Metco Meetups and Gil Jim Flipper. And one of the benefits of being a channel member here on the podcast is that you get to hang out behind the scenes. And today we actually have Gil behind the scenes checking out.
Hey,
Gil, everything going all right?
Everything's going great. I love it.
Awesome. Well, again, Gil, if you have any questions, put them down in the for Jackie, put them in the private chat, and we'll try to answer those to the best of their ability.
Or if you have
Just
one right
pop 'em
now,
on,
you can
yeah.
Do you have any questions?
He's on
Jackie,
right now.
that's
Ray.
a great question.
Come on.
No, I don't have any right now.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you could ask if she's got any more white pants.
Yeah.
I know no white after Labor Day.
I have had more. We did sell, the only pair of white jeans I have sold so far is a pair of orange tab Levi's.
Oh
yeah.
They were
yeah.
white, but they were orange tab Levi's, so
Yeah, that makes sense.
little different.
I will add, the last time I wore white pants, I was in a church concert for, if you remember, Salty, the giant Bible puppet guy, and I was in a concert and I had to wear white pants, and that was the last time I ever did it.
Was that last week?
Oh.
I wish.
Now I gotta look this up. Salty.
I should go put mine on, but then you can't see my pants, obviously. So it
What
doesn't
is
matter.
this? This is
You can stand on
so.
the chair, Brendan, or stand farther back.
I'll break my ankles. I'm not doing all
This
that.
is a deep cut. Is this salty?
Yeah, it's Salty.
Why is he? What's his name? Salty.
I really have no idea.
PS. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
that makes a little more sense.
Is it a bolo?
Okay. It's a
Right?
deep
I don't think
cut.
so. I sold a record one time, but I don't
Okay.
think it's
All
a
right,
polo.
all right. I'm gonna banish you back to the shadows, Gil.
Back to the shadow realm with you.
That's correct. That I didn't know it was salty.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, me neither. All right, Jackie. So I wanted to ask you before we move a little further. So you went from not wanting to have a garage sale, and a friend told you about selling online. Why did you continue to sell stuff on Mercari and then Poshmark? And why did you want to where it is now?
Yeah, so so around that time I was also looking for something to do. I was, when you only have one kid, you get bored postpartum. Not so much after the second, but so I started to look for. I was actually job hunting at the time too, just to do something. My Clay's job, we're thankful his 9 to 5 does allow me to be home with our kids, so we didn't necessarily need the income, but obviously any extra income is nice. So at that point, I was job hunting. So then when we saw that there was money in it, we're like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. I did work part-time for a little bit when we first started out, but I ended up leaving that job shortly about a year later. But yeah, so basically it was just, we wanted to try to grow something that, so the big goal for our business is we'd like to grow this to the point where we can, bring Clay home from his 9 to 5. He works in corporate and it's a nightmare right now. He says he feels like he's, reorganizing tables on the Titanic while it's sinking. So
wow.
it hasn't been fun. It's been very stressful for him. But like I said, it is a good paying job. So, but unfortunately the company he's working for right now, it is a sinking ship. So we're not sure what's going to happen with it, but so the goal has always been to bring him home. Like I said, we've always been very entrepreneurial mindseted. I'm not going to lie. I have always been, from the minute Clay and I got married, I'm like, can I be a stay-at-home dog mom? Like, do I have to go to work? Like, because at the time we had just had our dog, and I'm like, I even bought a sweatshirt that said, born to be a stay-at-home dog mom, forced to go to work. Because
now you have to be then, right? You have the
Yeah.
sweatshirt.
I mean, Joe's a stay-at-home dog dad, so.
But yeah, so I was trying real hard, and he came from a family where both parents worked, and I mean both my parents worked too, but I don't know, I'd always, I don't even know where I got the dream of always wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, because at one point wasn't even sure if I had wanted kids or not. So it was just kind of funny. As soon as we got married, I'm like, can I just stay home? Like, do I have to work? And he's like, I think you do. Like, wouldn't it make sense? And I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I started off in healthcare right out of high school, and I think part of it was just, working in healthcare is rewarding, but it's so draining. You get you just get burnt out so fast. And I was working in the adult foster care homes, which, I'm very thankful for that time now, because now with having my daughter, like I already had, some experience with that. A little bit different, because obviously adults are different than babies, but yeah, so it was more of just a way to, bring in some extra income. And like I said, we're hoping to grow it to where eventually it can be, our full-time thing, and he doesn't have to stay at that corporate job. And so that is the long-term goal, which is actually why we've recently just swapped from volume-based to profit-based, more profit-based for our business. So
that's smart. Yeah, for sure. Everyone needs to listen into this. Put down the comments, #bring Clay home. Let's get him off. Let's get him out of that 9 to 5 and bring him home.
Love that. And he is phenomenal. Every day he's always asking, like, okay, what can I do to help you, move this further? What can I do to, especially now with being pregnant, and some days I would take photos, but I was trying to take photos the other day. I got 2 in, and I had to sit down, and I texted him. I'm like, you're on photo duty for the rest of the rest of the year. I'm like, I can't. I'm too tired. It takes too much out of me. Which, I mean, like I said, he already pretty much does all of the photos. But sometimes when, he's been working late or things get busy, I'll try to take some of the photos. But yeah, so he's my photographer. He does all my measurements for me, so I don't have to do them, because I hate taking measurements. I mean, he does other stuff too, but those are the two biggest things. He actually, for the longest time, was my sourcer. He would go on his lunch hour.
Give him a list. Go get this stuff.
It's a list from the wallet.
Going on the treasure.
I didn't, for the most part. I mean, besides telling him, please stop buying Banana Republican gas, he did pretty good. But yeah, at his lunch hour, he would go to the thrift store, buy his work, and spend the hour thrifting, and come home usually with 2, 3, 4 bags of clothes. Sometimes I'd have to tell him, okay, please don't go this week, because I can't keep up. But because he would go on Mondays, because they used to be 99-cent days. They're now $1.25 days. But actually, I think that's relatively new, because we went this past month, or not yesterday, but last week Monday. We walked in, and I'm like, when did it change to $1.25? Clearly, it's been a while. But
Do y'all's thrift stores or Goodwills still have like 50 cent or half off
We've
like
never
one day
had
out of
that.
the?
No.
Okay.
We've never had that.
So our Goodwill near us just brought that back, but I know we're like one of the few in the area that still
Okay.
do it. But they
I thought that
price
was
so
maybe just
insanely.
mine.
They
That's why
just remodeled, so of course their prices are.
that's why you
not
just send your husband to the bin since you don't want to go. Like you go in there and
Yeah,
you
we
know,
we haven't
buy
gone to the bins in a while, just because, I mean, it is like an hour and a half, hour 45.
Oh, okay.
So it's not something we do very often, and especially because, like I said, now that we've kind of swapped to online, like estate auctions. I mean, we can get the last clothing lot that we picked up from an estate. I think we paid like 50. We got like 200 pieces of clothing and paid like 15 cents a piece. So
That's a steal.
Wow.
yeah. So and
That's
some of
crazy.
those are like some really nice, like rare vintage that should flip pretty nicely. So
where are you getting the majority of your items that you sell? Are you just selling clothing? Are we doing hard goods? Are we doing like glass? Are we doing books?
we are mainly doing clothing. Sorry, I'm laughing at glass because when we first decided to take this seriously, originally clothing was going to be my area of expertise, and then Clay really wanted to get into like the colored glass, the Chinaware. Like he saw back when everybody thought you could sell the Corel cornflower pattern for thousands of dollars. He saw that and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get knowledgeable in this, and this will be, my area of expertise. That stuff is still sitting in our basement untouched, collecting dust. I've listed some of it, but it's so hard to ship that stuff. Like, especially the fine china that he picked up. Like, it's really cool, and if you find the right collector, you definitely can sell it for some money. But I'm like, I'm like, how would you even guarantee? And because I swear these collectors are all in California. So Michigan to California, like, you're really risking it.
Mhm.
Shipping fine china cross country there. And so we are eventually going to go through it all and probably just redonate it all. But we're definitely mainly just clothing. We are trying to get into like shoes and handbags, but
Ooh.
handbags are okay, but like I don't know why, but I hate photographing shoes, and they're just like trying to find the right angle, and then half the time you got to clean them up. So
Yeah.
I've avoided shoes, I think, for as long as I can, but I know that obviously, like, if you are trying to, increase your profits, that a good way to do that is to start getting into like the designer and luxury shoes, and it makes me nervous. So we're slowly tampering in with that stuff. But
What kind? Like what? Like we talking like Gucci or like?
No, I haven't gone that far. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know if Christian Louis Vuitton. I can't even say him because I always say
I
Louis
think
Vuitton
that's
instead.
really expensive.
Yeah, so we've sold a pair of the red bottom shoes because I always mispronounce it.
Mhm.
We've sold a pair of those already. I've got another one in my inventory. I guess I did technically pick up a pair of Gucci off of the Real. But it wasn't a scuff mark like I thought. So we're still trying to figure out what to do with that pair of shoes. Because there was like a black mark on them, so they were on like really super clearance. And I'm like, well, I bet you it's a scuff, and I know how to get scuffs out, and it didn't end up being a scuff mark like I thought. So, but yeah, so like those kinds of things. But we don't pick those up super often. Just every now and then when we find the right deal, but we typically try to stick to vintage.
What are we selling? Where are we selling on right now, Jackie? Are we on everywhere?
Yes. If Vendu has it, we are on it, with the exception of Shopify. I've not opened up my own Shopify.
Yeah, I haven't done it either.
Okay.
What
do you sell any live selling platform? Like, are we on Poshmark Live?
So we did live shows last year. We did them all summer long, but with Clay's 9 to 5, and
Mm.
I mean, at that point, we had just had, Esme hadn't even turned 1 yet, so it was really difficult. I mean, we were trying to do them later in the evening, and so like Clay would come home, we'd spend, quickly eat dinner, spend all of that time trying to prep. I'd be in the back with the kids while he was running the live shows, and then we wouldn't get done until late. And then if we made sales, we were up late packing, and then he's got to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work. So it was just got to the point where I'm like, dude, you're getting burnt out from this. Like yes, we could turn the camera on and within a couple hours, maybe make, $100, $200, but I'm like, the burnout isn't worth the quick money.
Mm.
So
it's a grind.
yeah. And at that point we were doing really well on like posh live shows. We'd tried Whatnot really wasn't taken off for us, but I've heard it's a little like more people are having better experience, like more success on it now. And we've both said we're not writing out live shows. But it would definitely be something that like if we brought him home even part-time, maybe we could do again someday to, offloads. Because a lot of times like with these estate sales, when we pick up 200 pieces of clothing from a closet and not everything is worth listing. And we're like, some of this would be good, to do in a live show. We just don't have the time or the energy, I guess, right now for doing them. So
Yeah,
maybe someday in the future again, but
it's a grind for sure.
Now they're finally doing something with eBay Live, so you could even try that.
Yes, yeah. Oh my gosh, the only thing about that is you can't turn those notifications off. So my phone goes out and I'm like, oh, is it an offer or a sale? And then it's join so-and-so's live. I'm like, I don't even know who this is.
Yeah.
Right.
They just push it out to everybody. Yeah, exactly. What where are you getting all your inventory, Jackie? Are we doing, like you said, wholesale, or we're going to thrift stores? I know we don't like to go to the bins.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of thrift stores. Though Clay found, I'm trying to remember what the website is called. I think it's called Hybid. So he does a lot of searching on that when he's got some downtime. And finds local. He's willing to drive, I think up to, what did he tell me, up to like 3 or 4 hours for picking stuff up. So he just searches, all around Michigan for these, online estates where basically you can watch it if you want, or you can put, hey, this is my highest bid, and it'll bid it up until you get past that. And yeah, just bidding on all of these estate auctions. So that's where a lot of our inventory has come from recently. And then we did just bring on 2 consignment clients, which we don't typically do consignment. But one client is a fellow reseller who we're helping out, and she is able to get some really nice high-end inventory. So it is well worth it. Like I just sold a skirt of hers for like $240 that retailed for like over $800. I'd never heard of I think it was like Dries Van Norton or something like that. I'm like, I've never heard of this, but yeah, retailed for over $800 and sold it on eBay for $240. Like, this is insane.
Did it have a fancy tag?
It did. It did have a fancy tag. I'm starting to learn, they need to be fancy, but they need to also be like simple. That's what designers get you. They're more simple than you think.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. How long have you been doing that? I'm starting to hear more and more about consignments, or people, taking in consignment, because it does make sense, especially if you have like a really large following. And or if you don't, you can give it to someone that's a large following, and then you can just get take a percentage, and it's just like everybody kind of wins.
Yeah. So when we first started out, I tried consignment, actually through Flip, back when they were doing their consignment stuff. And that I would say really wasn't, at least the lots I was getting, obviously, because I was new. So I hadn't built up that trust yet, but, those really weren't worth it, because like you would get stuff and then all you can go on is based on the photo that the person uploaded. And a lot of times they were low light photos. So like you think you'd have something really good, and then you'd get it and there'd be flaws that they didn't disclose. And, at most you were making 50%, but that was before fees. So really you were only making like 30%. And so, I mean, I think our average profit on all of those consignment pieces were like right around $10. So it just really wasn't worth it. And at that point we had ruled out consignment completely. But yeah, but then recently, so we started with her back in May. And she basically reached out and she's like, I have all this inventory and she's like, I just know that I can't keep up with it. So would you be willing to, take it on? And she's like, you can even just take it from me and never speak to me again. She's like, I just don't want it.
Wow.
It's like, I just don't even want it in my site anymore. So, yeah, so we've got a 70-30 deal with her, which is really nice, especially when, you sell a skirt for $240.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, and then our other consignment client, I really probably shouldn't consider him like true consignment. He is an older gentleman who goes to our church that has no kids, never got married, and found out we were resellers. And he's like, I've got all this vintage stuff that, I don't know what to do with. And so he's more of our like favor, like we're doing more of a favor for him kind of thing. Cause he is a 50-50 split, but that's thankfully after fees. But I mean, like he does have some really nice stuff. Like we just listed not too long ago, a fur mink coat. That's like is that one from the 50s or is that one from the 60s? Like it's old, but it is in like really, really nice condition. And furs move slowly, but you can tell we're in wintertime because I've got there's like 30 likes on Vestiaire right now on it. And so I'm just waiting for it to move. But
what was that site? Vestiaire.
Vestiaire.
It's on Vendu.
Yeah.
What is Vestiaire? Is that like a fancy resale?
Yeah,
like you can only sell fancy stuff on there?
Yeah, they're mainly, I would say, like your designer luxury brands. They do accept some lower end brands, but their fees are kind of crazy where like really anything under $100 isn't really worth listing on there, in my opinion, because after their fees, you're not making a whole lot. But they do allow you to post vintage. So a lot of the higher end vintage I put on there because it typically will get some traction. I mean, I don't make very many sales on there. I know there are resellers who they can make sales on that platform like every day, but I'm not that successful on Vestiaire, but it does pay off every now and then.
Do you do Etsy?
Yes. Etsy it's slowed down a little bit over the summer, but usually Etsy's my third platform. It's been usually eBay, Poshmark, then Etsy, and then every other platform just kind of you get surprised when you get that sale notification.
Yeah.
Joe, is that where you get all your suits? Vestiaire?
Yes, that's exactly where I get all those fancy suits. No, most of them I find at garage sales or on Facebook Marketplace, which I'm currently banned from, so I can't buy.
We will definitely talk about that in the After Dark episode, so stay tuned for that.
Joe's a bad boy in the reseller world.
Yeah.
How do you? I was gonna ask real quick. How do you feel about Posh? You can't share your whole closet now.
I still have my Posher VA account.
Oh, okay.
Sharon. So
that makes sense.
I know people are saying it's not as important, but I'm like, I noticed that my likes still seem to go up shortly after one of my, Posher's ran it or Posher VA's ran it sharing. So I'm going to stick with it until I notice a huge difference. I don't know. So I think most of the people who have gotten upset about it are the people who don't use services like that. Which, it would be tedious because before when I first started out and I was so gung-ho about becoming Posh ambassador. I'm like, I got to do this. Like, this is, it's going to change the way we're selling. I obviously didn't understand it means nothing at that point, but so I used to manually share. And I remember Clay would get so mad at me. He's like, you've been at that for 2 hours. I'm like, we got a big closet.
Gosh,
takes
that's
time.
crazy.
I only use the share on Vendu, but I don't really see any activity. My Posh is dead.
I just activated that sharing thing through Vendu last week.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
is it even working and running? I don't even know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess I should say, so we technically have 2 closets. we have our main Thrift Avenue closet and then our Mr. Thrift Avenue closet. Because originally we were going to do all of our live shows on Mr. Thrift Avenue and then just list on the other. But we've actually now separated it to Thrift Avenue is like our high end stuff. So anything that's like $70 or more, like we're listing for 70 or more. And then our lower end stuff, like our more bread and butter brands, are on the Mr. Thrift Avenue closet. So I will say that one, I think because there are more items listed in that closet, so we don't share quite as often. Like I probably don't need to share so much on that closet. But with Thrift Avenue, there's only like 450 items, so I can share more often throughout the day. So I do think it helps a little bit with that closet, but it could just be we're picking up for Q4, and that's really what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Yeah, for sure. So, Jackie, thank you so much for coming on. We
Thank
do
you,
greatly
Jackie.
appreciate it. Oh,
thank
that's
you for
really loud.
having me.
Yeah,
That
super
was
fun.
really loud.
Yeah, sorry. It was loud. But guys, if you want to follow Jackie on all of her reselling adventures, make sure to follow her all of her socials. They'll be listed down in the description below. Life on Thrift Avenue on Instagram. Anything else?
Yes,
Instagram?
we are on TikTok and YouTube as well. So all the same name.
Awesome. So make sure you follow Jackie. Anything else for the people, Jackie?
I don't think so. This has been fun.
See, it wasn't that bad, was it?
It wasn't.
Exactly.
You're
Not at
scary,
all.
Ray.
Not
You're
at all.
scary, Ray.
Yeah, I
He
know.
kept
That's
saying
true.
it was an interview, and I'm like, quit calling it an interview. You're
We're just
freaking me
hanging
out.
out.
It's really
We're just hanging
not.
out.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
Nah.
So, guys, make sure you follow us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and make sure you check out all of our people that support the channel. My Reseller Genie and Europack.com. Great people. And in the After Dark episode, we'll get to how Joe got banished from Facebook Marketplace.
I can't believe you, Joe. I cannot believe you.
Between that and eBay right now,
Dude,
Ooh, we'll
I
talk
feel,
about
I
that as
feel
well.
that.
might not
I
need to
feel
be a
that.
reseller anymore.
I
After.
feel,
Yeah.
I feel that.
All right. So, my name is Ray.
I'm Joe.
I'm Brandon. That's Jackie. That's Jackie up there.
And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. See y'all and God bless. Peace.